Before we dive into the library itself, let's talk about a few things. First, the user community is made up of artists who upload their music here, as well as those looking for free music they can use in things like streams, YouTube videos, and stuff like that. I had no idea that this was even a thing, but there are apparently millions of visitors to this library every month. Their mission is to offer free access to open licensed original music, and they offer free membership for both artists and browsers. You don't have to make an account to download music. I dug through this website for a very long time, but I wasn't able to find where the files reside, what the hardware components are, or if there were any special security or quality of life provisions. But let's go ahead and take a look. So this is the first thing we see when we visit the URL for this digital library, a nice little welcome page with a blurb about supporting creators and rewarding creativity. You scroll down here just a little bit and you see two options, and this is where it starts getting a bit confusing. See, these link to two separate digital libraries. The one to the left is not the Free Music Archive at all. It is run by the same parent company, Tribe of Noise, but has different terms of use and in many cases different costs completely. The second option is the actual Free Music Archive. Before we go ahead and check that out, let's scroll through the rest of the page. Here we see a few different popular and featured music categories for Pro, and one at the very far right for Free Music Archive, and then a short description of Free Music Archive and Tribe of Noise Pro. So let's go ahead and dive into Free Music Archive. Clicking on that link takes you straight to the search page for Free Music Archive. So let's go over some of these links and how the searches work. Starting with these ones at the top of the page, when you hover over them, a little drop-down menu shows a few options. Looking at the first two, you see FAQs specifically for musicians and filmmakers, and the About menu has a license guide as well as some general FAQs. We'll take a look at the other ones in more detail in a few moments. So looking at the search functions, we've got that search bar up in the top right where you can search for keyword, title, artist, genre, things like that. When you enter a keyword in there, let's go ahead and do that. This is what comes up. You have options to narrow down by type of license, genre, and other categories, and can sort the results a few different ways. Going back, if we scroll down a bit more, we can see a featured mix, kind of like a playlist with the information about it to the right here. And a little farther to the right is the list of genres you can search by and browse in. That's also up here at the very top. If we click on one, let's try classical, it comes up with a list of subgenres at the top. You can narrow down by even more. And then we see some specific songs listed by, the default is the date added. But you can click on the arrows up here to search by different ways. For example, clicking this one at the far left will sort by the artist alphabetically. So you don't actually have to make an account to download music, but when you hit the download icon right to the right of all of these entries, this window pops up with a prompt to agree to the terms of use, as well as pointing out that this song is free to use under specific conditions. One cool feature about this digital library is that there's a little track player here that stays at the bottom of the screen. So when you see a track you want to play, you can control it from there. All right. So I want to take a look at one more thing on the website itself, and that's the license guide. So clicking on the license guide, we go look at that. It provides a short explanation of what each of the icons mean, as well as a general idea of what a music license is. Probably the most helpful aspect of it is this little step-by-step. Each icon has a little description of the terms of use that that category has. And then scrolling down here to the bottom, we can see just a general disclaimer for this is not legal advice, as well as the disclaimer that there are no specific clear answers for everything in music licensing. And that's all we have to look at for the Free Music Archive today. Thank you so much, and let me know if you have any questions.